Simple from China.
CHENXINGTONG of China, the last player to enter the arena of this morning's session, taking on Chongqing of Chinese Taipei, the second ever WTT level meeting between this pair. This is the round of 32, of course, both of these looking for a place in the next round. The place will be absolutely jumping in a couple of moments' time once this one gets going. This is the Chinese player who's the higher ranked of the pair. She's ranked number 4 in the world, has a career best of world number 3, so is playing pretty much her very best table tennis at the minute. Chongqing, she's not too far behind, just knocking on the door of the world's top 10. But it is the Chinese player who leads the head-to-head. It is just the second meeting. Well, back alongside me, Fraser Riley. Fraser, will we see an upset here today, or will Chun give these Chinese fans even more reason to cheer?
That's a good question. Fantastic to be with you again, Rebecca. I'd say that both of these two Scarlets have similar strengths and weaknesses, both right-handed attacking shakehanders, both very, very strong in the forehand game, the recovery game. Here's our umpire. It's tough for the coin toss, but you know, for me it's the CHENXINGTONG backhand. It never fails to amaze me. It can be a difference maker more than not, actually, in her encounters against similarly ranked opponents to the highest she's ever been in the world. Number 3, Chongqing, number 5.
Well, CHENXINGTONG comes into this one off a good run at the Singapore Smash, reached the semi-final there. And there's the last 3 results for her. Semi-final at the Champions in Frankfurt last year, finalist in Fukuoka, and a semi-finalist just last month in Singapore. So she will be expecting a deep run.
No, 100%. Defeating Sun Ying-Sha in Fukuoka, a player she's also beaten at the Singapore Smash before. Chongqing, legend, arrowhead for Team Chinese Taipei. Her and Chen Ziyu have been the top 2 for a considerable amount of time. And yeah, she's a fantastic advocate for women's table tennis herself.
Absolutely, and just a word on the Chinese players' form coming into this one. Chongqing, the world number 4, beaten by Kwai Man in the semi-final in Singapore. She lost as well to Wang Manyu in the final of Fukuoka. So she's losing to players in her own team. So certainly she will be expecting herself to win this one. The crowd will be expecting to win this one, and the fan vote says otherwise.
Yeah, interesting there. Good blood shown there for Chongqing. But you know, this is going to be quite a 50-50 battle, I would say. But you know, CHENXINGTONG has shown a little bit of vulnerability against non-Team China players of late, losing to Hannah Godder at the Champions in Montpellier. She's beatable. Chongqing has to believe that. And I was actually quite surprised to see this is only their second WTT meeting, in all honesty.
It is surprising, given that they've been around on the scene for quite some time. Chongqing has been inside the top 5, her career best ranking number 5 in the world, but that was back in 2017, which is incredibly now 8 years ago. Almost ready to get underway then, this final match in the first session of the day.
Cheng versus Chun. First game, Cheng to serve. Level. One love.
That's a good confident start from Chongqing.
Very nice third ball kill from her there, that shovel serve. Most trusty serve. That was well returned from CHENXINGTONG. Also loves the shovel serve herself. Honestly, they're so similar in terms of sort of weight class, technique, approach, playing style.
2-1.
But it's CHENXINGTONG who uses the more tacky rubber. She goes for the DHS rubber on the forehand. Whereas I think Zheng Yijing, as a butterfly sponsored player outside of Team China, she likes to use the Tenergy 09C. Both very, very grippy.
1-3.
But CHENXINGTONG especially effective in that spin game. Perfect technique. What were you saying, sorry, Rebecca?
Just going to say that the world number 4, CHENXINGTONG, comes into this one in great form as well. She's played 12 matches all year with just 3 losses in that time. She's got plenty of match time under her belt, much more so than her opponent.
Let.
Yeah, we'll see if that plays out to be a factor here. Doing in that first point, Zheng Yijing very quickly becoming a passenger.
5-1.
That's a really quick start for the world number 4. Looking really comfortable.
Testing those irregular transitions, wide to middle to wide, very difficult to make those adjustments if you're Zheng Yijing there. Bombardment of backhands from CHENXINGTONG. On her day, for me, it's the best backhand in the women's game.
1-7.
Absolutely cream it, just strike it right when the iron's hot. And that plays into Zheng Yijing's mind, causes a little bit of fear factor in the serve-receive game, because CHENXINGTONG is there ready and waiting more often than not.
2-7.
Just the second point on the board then for Zheng Yijing, as CHENXINGTONG goes long.
Seven, 3.
Backhand into the net. Not dealing too well with the serve.
Slightly wider serve there. Good change. Makes it tough for CHENXINGTONG to play a power flick, because she's stood backhand bias, yes, but not there ready around the side of the table.
8-3.
See players just taking a little peek at their opponent before service. Not making your mind up too soon tactically.
4-8.
That was a good push there into the middle of the table. Made it tough for CHENXINGTONG to play the backhand. They're the wavelengths that Zheng Yijing has to be thinking along.
4-9.
That's a good point for the world number 4. Great ball placement.
Yeah. Looked to be a little bit of side spin on that as well. The way she contacted it a little bit further down the racket. To help kind of hook the ball slightly as well. Not too surprised by how this first game's gone so far.
11-4.
Push into net from Zheng Yijing to round off the first game. It was a dominant one for the world number 4, CHENXINGTONG. She wraps up the opener. This is the final of the first round matches. Have a little look then at the women's top seeds here in Chongqing this week. Remember, it is the best 32 players in the world, and that is a look at the top 8 seeds. Sun Yingsha leads the Chinese 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 5 Chinese players in the top 8. Sun Yingsha, very much a fan favourite as well. All these Chinese players absolutely pack out this arena. CHENXINGTONG, 4th seed. World number 4, Hina Hayata, the best of the rest.
Yeah, Hina Hayata, the Olympic bronze medalist from Paris. Miwa Haramoto just behind her now. And Satsuki Odo, the new guard. Odo, the first ever non-Chinese winner of a Champions event in the women's game. Did that in Montpellier on her Champions debut.
That's an impressive debut, certainly, for the youngster.
Second game.
Outrageously good.
Chun to serve.
Fantastic
Level.
future ahead of her. Chong-Ching, are there positives she can take from that opening game? How is she going to need to adapt?
For me, the backhand of CHENXINGTONG is just different gravy. Chong-Ching has to try and play the parallels, I think, as often as possible. Otherwise, Chong-Ching will smother her middle and forehand with her backhand. Oh, nice shot block there from Chong-Ching. Great feeling.
CHENXINGTONG sees the funny side of that one. Smile of admiration for her opponent.
That was loaded. She turned heavy topspin into heavy backspin and side spin, coming down from above around the side of the ball.
2-1.
Chong-Ching takes the lead. It's a fantastic start to this second game.
And we saw that women's top 10 list. I mean, this draw is shaping up to be something quite special here, Rebecca.
Yes, draw absolutely stacked full of world-class talent, as you'd expect at a Champions event. The winner of this one going through to face Shin Yu-bin of the Republic of Korea. We saw her in action earlier on.
2-3.
Fighting off Egypt's Sanagoda. That was an entertaining match.
It certainly was. That was a pleasure to call. Fantastic long serve. No indication whatsoever that she was going to do that until she made contact. Got Chong-Ching into a passive position straight away. This level, the long serve has to be unpredictable, has to be deep. Has to be low to the net as well, of course. That's the tricky thing with the long serve. How do you make it quick and low over the net? Well, the main thing is try and make your bounce as close towards the back line on your side as possible. With your short serve, try and make the first bounce nearer to the net. I mean, most serves at this level half long to create that indecision.
Four.
Well, you could see what the plan was there from the world number 4. It's failing to execute.
Class that as a bit of an escape there for Chong-Ching, but it was a solid reactive sort of blocking shot. Didn't create any rotation, just came right through the back of the ball, a bit flatter there.
Five, four.
Well, you talk a lot about the forehand of CHENXINGTONG, but the backhand rather, but the forehand's pretty special as well.
Yeah, I think just came off the top edge of a bat there, but fortune favoured the brave. Chong-Ching is playing way too much with her backhand. She has to be a little bit more proactive, Chong-Ching. She has to try and get the forehand into play as much as possible.
Well, we saw that there in that rally. 2 pushes with the backhand, and that didn't get her anywhere.
Five, six.
Gonna take it on with the backhand. I think, for me, Chong-Ching might be a little bit better off trying to serve the shovel from the middle of the table or from the forehand side Otherwise, it's too clear of an option for Zheng Yijing to just flick into the backhand half.
6-6.
That was a more backspinny serve than Zheng. Just say than Chen Xintong expected. Chance here for Taipei's #1.
She's got more points on the board in this second game than she had in the entire of the first. So perhaps she'll start to grow in confidence as it wears on.
I'd be surprised to see at least one long serve out of these two.
6-7.
It was long but wide. Good push from Zheng Yijing. That's high difficulty.
High difficulty, and she is justly rewarded. Gets a nose in front.
Trying to slow the game down here, Zheng Yijing. This is intelligent.
Eight, 6.
Right off the corner. It was a great ball from Zheng Yijing.
That was a really classy shot here. Bit of swagger to that, bit of flair with that forehand flick.
Nine, 6.
Zheng Yijing extends her lead to 3 now as we get towards the end of this second game. Didn't see this one coming.
Where's this come from?
Yeah, great resurgence. 6 of the last 8 points have gone the way of the Chinese Taipei player.
7, 9.
It's not over yet though. Ball just sort of stalled in front of Zheng Yijing because it was a slower shot, but the skid of the topspin made life very tricky for Zheng Yijing. Now it's a chance for Chen Xintong with 2 serves.
Eight,
And she
9.
takes her chance, reduces that deficit to the single point. Another serve
Time
coming
out.
up. She'll look to level at 9 points apiece.
This is where the Team China stars pride themselves. These kind of situations, there are going to be bumps in the road. We embrace that, but we're going to try our best to be prepared to do something about it. Zheng Yijing knows that all too well, and she's called a timeout.
Zheng Yijing calling the timeout just as Chen Xintong was about to take her second serve, looking to level at 9-all. Will Zheng Yijing, the world #12, succeed in disrupting the momentum of her opponent?
8, 9.
Well, with another serve, I mean, a betting man would have to put his money here on Chen Xintong to level matters. Pile even more pressure on Zheng Yijing.
9,
That's what
9.
she does there. That shovel serve, that after motion as well, I think threw off the lady in orange. Just seemed to have pipped her there.
Ten, 9.
Chen Xintong, the face says it all as she goes long, hands the game point to Zheng Yijing.
That's why the shovel serve is becoming the most popular serve, especially in the women's game. It draws the opponent in and creates that indecision because it's hard to identify what's on it coming round the side.
11-9.
A gasp of
Game
surprise
two,
goes up around the arena as CHENXINGTONG-CHENG levels up, taking that second game. Valiant fight back from her to level up here.
I'm surprised to see her so cool and collected there. She was able to perspectivise things so well and almost treat it as though it was 0-0. Not easy to do that in a game that was basically a must-win.
That is the first game that CHENXINGTONG-CHENG has ever taken off CHENXINGTONG. The last meeting between this pair was a straight games win for China's world number 4. It's facing a different prospect though now. It looks as though CHENXINGTONG-CHENG is growing in confidence, growing into this match. Lost the first game 11 points to 4, but what a win in the second for 11-9.
Yeah, good composure, good closure there from her. It's just insane to think that, you know, CHENXINGTONG-CHENG has been as high as 5 in the world and yet doesn't even have a 10% win rate against Team China players. What does that tell you about Team China dominance in table tennis? It's unbelievable. And at the same time, I mean, CHENXINGTONG-CHENG is so good. Always has been since I started watching table tennis about 15 years ago. I wonder, is it a psychological thing? Is she scared of them? Does she suffer from imposter syndrome against them?
Well, you have to break that duck at some point, but the longer that losing streak goes on, the harder it is to penetrate that aura of Chinese dominance, of just utter superiority.
That's it. We've seen it with Ito as well, a player you could put in a similar category. Ito, though, it's different with her because she was beating them often until, you know, a few years ago when they really studied her thoroughly.
1-3.
It's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking, yeah, I know what went right for me in the last game, I'm going to continue doing that. But this is the thing, CHENXINGTONG's looking to reinvent things, shed her skin, adapt.
1-4.
Great rally. But that's it, that's the thing about the top players, they can adapt on the fly. As the match wears on, they know what they need to do to be able to overcome their opponent. Not only do they know what they need to do, but they can also implement that as well. Knowing is one thing, putting it into practice is another.
And a lot of fans understandably think that the advice of the top coaches must be very complex. It isn't. We get an insight here when we're watching these matches live into what the coaches are saying, and all it is advice on how to make things more simple, how to simplify it. And it's more relevant with this level, because at this level you're more likely to overcomplicate something. They're not doing enough.
CHENXINGTONG with the big forehand sends it smashing into the net. And that is their serve success. CHENXINGTONG very consistent on serve.
Same thing than what happened in the first game here. CHENXINGTONG getting off to an early 4-point advantage. There's a blitzing winner there from CHENXINGTONG.
2-6.
Good pressure from CHENXINGTONG.
It's a little bit of fortune as well there. I see it here, just clips the net completely. Ruffles Zheng Yijing, who's expecting something deeper to backhand.
Three-6.
It's a really well-timed forehand flick. Strong within the parameters of the table. Zheng Yijing coming right through the back of that.
Let. 3-6.
How quickly that she realised as well it wouldn't be attackable, that she wouldn't be able to wait for it to come to the back line and then attack.
6-4.
CHENXINGTONG caught off balance by that one.
Dishing out a few nice winners here. Will we see a timeout from CHENXINGTONG? Doesn't look like we will here yet.
Seven, 4.
There's that backhand that you've spoken so highly of. We saw it used to great effect there.
Zheng Yijing has it in her arsenal as well, but yeah, CHENXINGTONG's is frighteningly good. No backlift on it at all. Racket speed, acceleration.
4-8.
Some real acceleration there with the forehand as well, going down the diagonal. Should be feeling a lot more comfortable now with the scoreline showing 8-4.
Pressure that parallel.
5-8.
CHENXINGTONG. It's a great response there from Zheng Yijing. Watch this. Luckily she didn't shift towards the forehand side, which was the more exposed side. She stayed rooted at the backhand and it paid off.
Nine, 5. Ten, 5.
Ching goes long, and that's 5 game points for CHENXINGTONG.
Eleven, 5. Game to Chun.
Chun goes long again, and CHENXINGTONG extends her lead 2-1 in this one, but she didn't necessarily have it all her own way in that one. She was made to really fight at various points in there. She does have the advantage, Zheng Yijing, with a must-win game when play resumes next, but it is the world number 4 who's in control at the moment, wrapping that one up 11 points to 5.
拼入长的有机会稍微加点往前的是加上摩擦，是吧？这种球发球很好，一入他这发就行了。他摆你是没在下，注意他脖子，是吧？后边还是注意他发球有没有变化，刀你一下或者你卡住这个位置，卡住第一点，就有些小上手。
Zheng Yijing shocked and awed in game 2, winning it 11 points to 9. Can she produce another moment of shock and awe? This is a must-win for her. Can she send us to a decider? It certainly hasn't been easy for CHENXINGTONG, world number 4.
1 love.
Just those subtle adaptations made there in that previous game from CHENXINGTONG. Able to make it a more backhand orientated affair when she wanted.
1-1.
And I think her touch play, her push play was much better as well. She had more oomph into the touch and push. Sometimes she looked like she was going to touch, would dig out at the last split second. Sometimes she would look like she was going to dig out, raise the racket a little bit, but then just dink it tight. Tried it there, but too high. You can see that Zheng Yijing understands that she's losing the vast majority of quick exchanges, so she's trying to slow the pace down, maybe get a little bit of hesitation, create more of a chance for her to get a clear-cut driving opportunity.
Oh my goodness. A real miss hit there. CHENXINGTONG going for the big forehand and completely misjudges it.
Look at that, it wasn't even a long one. It was a nice touch from Zheng Yijing. Half long, created some indecision. Very difficult to attack that actually.
Well, she attacked that one though. A real statement of intent there.
She doesn't mind inviting the open play because she is the more powerful player.
Four-three.
Amazing winner. Maybe the forehand of the match there. Still went for power despite being a little bit further back. The backhand that she hit before was class. Wow. She grits her teeth into that one as well. Really meant that one, Zheng Yijing. Quality stuff.
4-5.
She mucked up the service. Zheng Yijing, of course, went to clobber it, but how on earth has CHENXINGTONG brought that back down the line? That is a weird and wonderful rally that finished somehow with a winner. That's nuts.
Just playing on pure instinct.
Six.
There's that backhand, again used to such great effect.
I don't think CHENXINGTONG believes that Zheng Yijing is confident going backhand to backhand at this moment in time. Zheng Yijing is trying to play down the line into forehand, and CHENXINGTONG is prepared for that because she was winning a lot of the backhand-to-backhand rallies earlier, so we knew that she probably would. And now Cheng Ching is running out of options.
Oh, the backhand-to-backhand rally, and it goes the way of Cheng Ching. You're shaking your head in utter disbelief.
Raw power there. Goodness me, the weight transfer. Playing full strokes and yet still having the physicality, the contortion anatomically to get back and recover to play another. That takes some doing. You really get to see the physical fitness as well there. Incredible. Spending countless hours with resistance bands in the weight room to develop that core strength. You've got to be strong, you've got to be lean and mean, and you've got to be able to get back again to a neutral position, shifting on the feet, making those minor adjustments. It's irregular, you don't know where the ball's even coming.
You need to be explosive, reactive. It's such a demanding sport.
9-7.
Cheng Ching just struggling with that backhand, sending the return into the net. So world number 4 moves 2 points clear.
So wise, just taking notes. Cheng Ching playing the point of the match, and then CHENXINGTONG just slowing the game right down, saying, okay then, let's not play fast the next point.
9-8.
Tried to get that one finished off quickly and just misjudged it.
Barely attackable, good half-long push. Potentially back-breaking situation, and CHENXINGTONG pulled out. She realised too late that she should have taken on perhaps a different shot.
Well, there's always plenty going on for the fans around the WTT champions in Chongqing. France's Alexis Lebrun signing autographs for fans. It's great that there's so much interaction between fans and players. Where else, what other sport do you get this kind of access with? It's really fantastic to see so many fans queuing up to catch a glimpse of their hero. Here we go then, nail-biting stuff at the end of this 4th game. It's a must-win for Cheng Ching, who is hanging on, fighting for her life.
9-8.
CHENXINGTONG calling for the timeout. She was 2 points clear. Can she hold off the challenge from the world number 12? The timeout has had the desired effect. It's 2 match points now for the world number 4. Can she get this one over the line, or will we see a fight back from Cheng Ching? Screams of celebration as CHENXINGTONG, the world number 4, makes her way through to the next round. Credit must go to Cheng Ching, who pulled out some impressive table tennis in a bid to hold China's world number 4. She is through in 4 games, breathing a sigh of relief, I might imagine. But pulling out some really impressive stuff. That backhand of beauty, we'll see that again in the next round. She'll take on Xin Yubin, and we look forward to that one, certainly. That was a tough test, though, for CHENXINGTONG.
Yeah,